Good afternoon. I greet all of you with the universal greetings of respect. And thank you for taking this mindful moment to spend together. The moment that is filled with opportunities, possibilities, and miracles. We take this time together this afternoon to relax and breathe. We use 4-second counts and we do just one cycle. We inhale, we hold it, we exhale and hold it. So let's breathe together for a moment. We inhale for 4 seconds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now that process can be increased. If you practice it, it can be powerful, of course, but it can be increased to 5 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever you are comfortable with. We're just doing 4 for the sake of our time together. But if practiced and used, that might be the process that just might help you reduce the stress that you may be experiencing at a particular moment, or someone that you know may be going through something. It might actually save your life or someone else's life. Just that minute to pause, relax, and breathe. You know, every emergency EMS system, every hospital that you go to, one of the first things that they do is make sure that you relax and breathe. Even if you are going to get some life-saving treatment, you have a life-threatening injury, one of the first things they have to be sure of is that you're breathing, you're getting the proper oxygen. Because they know that once our body is breathing properly, it becomes satisfied. Once it's satisfied, it's in a position to receive the mechanisms that allows for healing, whether that mechanism is medication or whether that mechanism is a message. It allows for healing. And that's what this process is about. So the first thing that we do together is relax and breathe, which brings us to our particular mindful moment. It was inspired by a lady whose name is Maya Angelou. She's known, she made her transition last year, I believe it was. She's known as a poet, an author. For many people, she's considered almost like a spiritual guide because of the wisdom that she's shared. This particular piece comes from one of her books, holding up here. I don't know if it's probably showing up backwards, but it says, "Wouldn't take nothing for my journey." I'm going to share it with you. She said, "Because of the routines we follow, we often forget that life is an ongoing adventure. We leave our homes for work, acting, and even believing that we will reach our destination with no unusual event startling us out of our set expectations." Say the truth is, we know nothing. Not where our cars will fail, or when our buses will stall, whether our places of employment will be there when we arrive, or whether in fact we ourselves will arrive whole and alive at the end of our journeys. Life is pure adventure. And the sooner we realize that, the quicker we will be able to treat life as art, to bring all our energies to each encounter, to remain flexible enough to notice and admit when what we expected to happen did not happen. We need to remember that we are created creative, and we can invent new scenarios as frequently as they are needed. Life seems to love the liver of it. Maya Angelou says we are created creative. I read that years ago, have paraphrased it and used it for a long time since then because it's so powerful. She's saying that inside of us, we have creativity. It's already installed in us. All we have to do is unleash that to allow us to be able to deal with the things that are going on. So we can control that part. What we can't control is the fact that eventually something is going to happen outside of our set of expectations. We think things are going to go a certain way. Big Bob, my friend who used to live in Georgia, used to say, we're all going to experience a suddenly, where suddenly something is going to happen that's outside of our expectations, that we didn't think. We're going to get that phone call, that email, that text. Somebody's going to say something. We're going to get a diagnosis. Something is going to happen we didn't expect. We can't control those things, but we can control unleashing our creativity. Stephen Covey said it this way. He said, between something happening and our reaction to it, there is a gap. Inside of that gap, there's at least 4 different things. One of those things is creativity. And the more we recognize that we have that gift, that ability, and the more we exercise it, the more powerful it'll become, and it'll be able to expand to help us manage those things that happen eventually in our life or happen suddenly in our life. So, I encourage you to look for opportunities to post this message. Post your comments of how you use creativity, how someone else could possibly use creativity or imagination. I encourage you to look for ways or opportunities to try to do something that unleashes your imagination. Because we get in a rush, we do things the same way all the time. Look for an opportunity to do something different, whether you go home a different way, wear your hair different, a different style of clothing, listen to a different kind of music, read a different book, eat a different type of food, anything to unleash your creativity and imagination. Many will be celebrating Valentine's Day tomorrow, the same way they've always done. Try something different to unleash it, because the more you exercise it, the more powerful it'll become. So when that unexpected does happen, you're in a better position to be able to manage it. Look for that opportunity and post some of your ideas about it, pass it on to someone else. I encourage you to consider the possibility of adding an affirmation about creativity into your daily language. We know that we can't excel the thoughts that dominate our mind, but what if we had an elevated thought that dominated our mind? Something like, I have the unusual ability to find creative solutions to my problems. If you did that, your creative ability would actively support that natural belief that you have. You would then have a constant flow of new and good ideas. If that became your affirmation that you use, and it started to sink down into your belief system, consider the possibility of trying that. And lastly, expect and experience the miracles that will expand in your journey as you continue to make your moments more mindful. You could have done many things today, but you chose to spend this moment, this mindful moment, with me and those of us who share together. I thank you so much for that. I encourage you to travel well until the next time. Respect.